Thank you, Tiffany, for coming to see us and share your story with us.
Thanks for having me.
It's lovely to see you here in Malta. How long did you spend abroad?
I moved back to Malta about 6 to 7 years ago, and I worked abroad for about 10 years. But as we were discussing earlier, it's nice to be home, and it feels safe to be in Malta because Malta's quite a safe country, isn't it? We're very lucky to have that.
What was the highlight of your career?
What was the highlight of my career? Obviously winning the show changed my life. That's the biggest change in my life. Because
Were you expecting it?
No, not at all, no. I really thought there's no way I'm going to win, especially because it was public vote and they blocked Malta from voting. So I thought there's no way the English people are going to want a foreigner to win. But I did, and it changed my life, and I feel very fortunate and grateful for the opportunity that I had. And the highlights of winning that show, I would say, is the amount of traveling that I got to do through it by working abroad in different countries, because I wasn't just based in Malta. I lived in China as well. I worked in America, Australia, Paris, Milan, doing all of the fashion weeks. So I think I was fortunate to get to have that life experience.
How long did you do that for, the traveling and the fashion
About
shows?
10 years.
10 years, that's a very long time. So it must be very tough and difficult.
It is tough and difficult, it is. I mean, you have to have quite a backbone for it, and you have to be persistent because it's a cutthroat industry. It's based on, unfortunately, your looks. That's just the way it is. So it's very difficult. I'm not going to lie, it is difficult. But it's something I really wanted to do, and it brought me lots of good opportunities as well. So every job has its good and its bads, doesn't it?
Going back to the show, the competition that you won, what made you enter that competition?
Well, I was obsessed with America's Next Top Model since I was about, 10 years old. And I watched it religiously with my parents and my sister. And every year I applied for the English one from such a young age.
Because your mom's English?
My mum's English, yes. And you have to be English, you have to have an English passport to apply. And I was applying from such a young age, and obviously I never got an email.
And how old were you then?
Ever since it came out. And then I applied every year, and then the last time I applied I was 17 and I got on it.
And what were your feelings at the beginning of the show? Did you think that you're going to get through week after week?
I think I was just so excited and overwhelmed with the whole experience. You know, I couldn't believe that I was actually on a TV show that I had been watching for years since a little girl.
And you had a lot of support from your family and
Yes.
your parents.
Of course, yes.
Were there any other supermodels you met that you befriended and perhaps stayed in touch with?
I've done a show with Heidi Klum before, which was an honour for me, obviously. But yes, I've made many friends along the way, and I keep in contact with them, yes.
Was it difficult for you to come to Malta?
In what sense?
To make that decision? Leave such
It was,
such
yes.
a glamorous life behind you?
I wouldn't necessarily call it glamorous. I wouldn't call it glamorous at all, actually. You need to work very hard, it's like long hours, you know, it's going to castings all the time. People think it's a glamorous industry when you're on the shoot. It is glamorous, but the whole process of it isn't glamorous at all. It's very cutthroat.
Do you do any of that work here, now that you're here?
I do, yes. I still model, I do influencing, I do marketing as well. I'm still modelling for some clients of mine that I've been modelling since I was 13 years old. So I have a nice relationship with them. And also I do new clients too, but I don't do it full time like I used to do before.
What about contesting in Miss Universe a few years ago? That wasn't it?
Alan and Jeff were the organisers of that, so I'm very grateful to have had that opportunity. It was a nice experience to have, and I felt it was the right age for me to do it at the time. And I wish the new winner the best of luck for this year's competition. I think it was still at early stages for me to go, in the sense of representing Malta. I'm very happy that the new winner has had a lot more experience with the actual organisation in America, because I think it's very important that the contestants get as much preparation done beforehand.
Tell us a bit about your childhood. What sort of childhood did you have?
I had a really good childhood. I think I'm one of the lucky ones, because I remember we used to go out after school and play at the local parks with our bikes and go out and meet all the kids in the neighbourhood. And I feel like today, like, my nieces are at home on the computer. They don't really do that as much. So I feel like got the last era of that.
Do you have a favourite music?
I do. I like 80s and 90s, even though I DJ all different types of genres, especially house and tech house. But I really do like to listen to 80s and 90s.
If you had to compare a day from your modelling years and a day in your life today, how do they differ? What would you do when you wake up first thing in the morning?
It is quite different. In London, I'd wake up and go to castings or be doing a job or a shoot. In Malta, I'm a marketing manager, so I work an 8-hour job. And then afterwards, I do what I love, which is DJing. I also go to the gym, cook healthy and meet friends, so I keep myself quite busy. And then in summer, I try to go out at sea as much as possible. So that's the good thing about being in Malta, the difference of living in Malta and in London. In London, I didn't have that freedom to do that. It's a city. Obviously, there are other things you can do in London, many things. But the one thing I do like about living in Malta is that it's a small island and you can get to places very quickly and see your friends quickly as well. I'm also very happy to be in Malta because I'm close to my family. I do consider myself to be quite a family girl and traditional, even though I've done some things that aren't so traditional, as in going and living abroad or working in a male-orientated industry like DJing. But I do like family life. That is important to me and I'm very grateful for my family.
Sinjuri, grazzi li segwejtu il-programm illum. Jekk għandkom xi kummenti bħas-soltu dwar dak li rajtu smajtu, ibatu il-kummenti tagħkom permezz tal-WhatsApp fuq in-numru li jidher fuq l-iskrin. Din l-aħħar intervista kont ma' Tiffany Pisani. Insellmilkom, nixtieqilkom il-lejli tajjeb jiena Hogg għal Net TV.